The damage was so bad that his entire eye had to be removed.
Y'all got my dog looking like Fetty Wap. Now he gonna look like a cyclone off for what? I didn't even think that was possible. Insane theme park ride accidents.
Nothing gets the old adrenaline pumping quite like a death-defying theme park ride.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate theme parks. Ever since I watched Final Destination, bro, I'm okay. I don't like the emotion y'all receive while going into theme parks. I think it's overrated.
The promise of high-speed flips, loops, and drops attracts millions of people to test their courage on these rides every year. But despite the warning signs and super snug lap bars, not all of them are as safe as they appear.
The feeling I get of that rush, it's not nice. It don't feel good. It's so overrated.
Like this Russian ride that broke and had its passengers suspended by a thread. Or this crazy catapult that nearly crushed its riders. Want to find out more? Then strap in tight and
That's the analogy you had to give us? Strap in tight?
secure any loose items about your person as we take a look at some theme park rides that had to be shut down.
I'm sorry, if you're getting into anything with 4 wires carrying this much amount of heavy metal, then your ass dumb. Because this shit look like spider webs, gang. What is that gonna do? If I'm gonna take any ride that's flying in the air like this, I need that shit to be attached by like 20 like heavy metal chains, gang. It's not holding up anything. What do we got?
Savage Son of Beast.
Are you serious right now? This motherfucker look like some shit you see off of like a Minecraft parkour ass map. What is this? This shit look like it's made out of wood at this point.
Among the roller coaster enthusiasts of the world, this colossal wooden ride called Son of Beast holds a legendary status. Part of Kings Island Amusement Park in Ohio, it was built as a sequel.
Look, I'm not trying to continue those Ohio jokes, but come on.
To their previous wooden coaster, the Beast. But like any good son, this new beast exceeded its predecessor in every way. It was the world's fastest and tallest wooden roller coaster, whipping riders around at a staggering 78.
So let me get this straight. Y'all gonna trust wood to hold y'all up? That much people in it? It's almost like y'all want it to fall off.
8 miles per hour from peaks as high as 218 feet.
Damn.
And to add the cherry on top, it was also the only wooden coaster with a loop when it opened back in the year 2000. But being made out of wood didn't make for the smoothest journey. Structural issues gave Son of Beast a reputation for being a jerky and rough ride.
If I see one metal bolt disconnect from the roller coaster, no, I'm sorry. I'm crying. No, you won't see me ever outside in a roller coaster.
Although that made some sadists love it all the more. But it got a little too rough back in 2006. As a train of riders looped around the Rose Bowl section, their train suddenly bucked as if it had hit a huge pothole. At those high speeds, the damage was serious. And 27 riders were sent to the hospital with severe neck and chest injuries. Inspectors later revealed a wooden support beam underneath that section had cracked and splintered, and the ride was shut down.
Temporarily? That shit better be permanent.
It was repaired and reopened in 2009, but then another rider suffered an injury on board.
Let me get this straight. You see people knocking out, going to the hospital, 27 people, and you still gonna trust them? I'm sorry, gang. Yo, I deserve this.
Though this time, it was head trauma caused by the coaster's violent shaking. Even though a thorough investigation found no irregularities, its bumpy past and rough reputation was enough to see it shut down indefinitely that year. The wonderful wooden structure was later demolished in 2012, proving that what goes up must eventually come crashing down.
This looks like a Mr. Beast prop set. Like, this don't even look like a professional roller coaster.
When Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida opened a dragon-themed ride in 1999, roller coaster fanatics were left awestruck. Originally called Dueling Dragons, the ride consisted of a pair of inverted, intertwined roller coasters that chased each other around like two dragons fighting in the air. At one point,
any roller coaster that has you doing these, stop it. Stop it. Respectfully speaking, imagine if you have someone built like queso to the right of you. There's a good chance your ass might go down.
2 trains even inverted riders and looped them round just 18 inches apart. After that, I bet all those riders were left feeling like they'd really conquered a dragon. It was later renamed the Dragon Challenge and added to the park's Wizarding World of Harry Potter section.
Okay.
But shortly after the move, the Dragon Riders started misbehaving. In 2011, a 52-year-old man was on the ride when, during that iconic loop, something flung out from the other car and struck him across the face. The damage was so bad that his entire eye had to be removed.
Y'all got my dog looking like Fetty Wap? Nah, real shit though. Now he gonna look like a cyclone off for what? Bro, new fear unlocked. I mean, I never wanted to be in a roller coaster, but I didn't even think that was possible.
Ouch. Concerned that riders weren't taking the many no loose object signs seriously, operators began setting the two trains off at different times to avoid any similar incidents.
Good.
But this would turn out to be a killing blow for the Dragons. Without the dueling feature, the ride's popularity dwindled, and
so y'all like the fact that you see someone else as you're in a roller coaster? Is it that deep?
By 2017, it was shut down to make way for something more magical and less dangerous. Human catapult.
You going on a ride called the human catapult? Bitch, we need to catapult your dumbass off this earth. What is wrong with you? Why would you ever want to do some shit like that? I'm only against going off airplanes. And you want to catapult? Okay, go ahead, bro.
Slingshot and catapult rides have become increasingly popular with adrenaline junkies in recent years, and it's not hard to see why. Riders are securely strapped into a single steel capsule.
Yeah, I already know her ass need 2 more of them shits. My bad.
Which is attached to industrial strength spring cables pinned to the top of 2 huge towers. The cables are then gradually tautened as the capsule remains strapped to the launch pad. Then, with the push of a button, the capsule is released.
Okay. Ooh, please don't tell me that one of them disconnected. I already know whoever was on that ride, they heart had to drop to their ass at that point.
Like a stone from a slingshot, riders can be catapulted up to 450 feet in the air at breathtaking speeds of around...
Imagine being the first person to have to test these rides. Hell nah, I'm not gonna lie, you gotta be getting paid.
100 miles per hour. That's one way to get rid of your girlfriend, but as fun as they look to people filming them from the ground, the G-force these rides produce can reach up to 5 Gs, which is enough to make some riders hilariously faint.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the amount of aura you lose from this, I'm okay, bro.
But that's not the worst thing that can happen on these rides. Back in 2015, Drew Larson was shooting a video of his 13-year-old son about to ride Wisconsin's Mount Olympus catapult with a family friend. The ride was designed to hurl passengers 200 feet up into the air at 60 miles per hour.
And what happened?
But just moments before the ride attendants hit the launch button, something terrible happened.
D-Man, drop a beat!
Man, I thought y'all was gonna go to Mars, nigga. Don't clickbait me like that. Yo, okay, I'm glad they're safe though. I'm glad they safe, but I assumed that they were just gonna lift off, bro.
Without warning, the cable on one side of the ride snapped.
That shit gotta be heavy, especially if it's holding shit like that.
Smashing all that tension just inches away from the boy.
Literally.
Now, these rides operate by applying around 40
No, and imagine if it actually like launched before it started ripping.
tons of pressure through those cables. So if that kid had just been a few more inches to his right, they would have needed a spatula to get him off the ground. What an unbelievably lucky escape. While state documents showed that the ride had passed inspections a month before, Mount Olympus had previously failed to show the proper maintenance documentation for the catapult back in 2013. And when you take a look at the frayed cables on the side there, it looks like that paperwork might still have been missing.
I wonder how much money they lose when people find faulty shit like this.
The ride was thankfully shut down and removed from the park just 2 days later, which probably saved future patrons from becoming pancakes.
Good. What's next?
Cosmonaut Chaos. The resplendent Russian city of St. Petersburg is marveled for its architecture and history, but it's got something else guaranteed to entertain its visitors. Located in the central Petrogradsky district, the Divo Ostrov amusement park is a thrill seeker's dream come true.
Is this Russia? I'm sorry, bro. I didn't even know Russia had these.
And at the center of it all spins this utter beast. Known simply as the Rocket,
Dude.
this high ride loads up
Dude.
10 wannabe cosmonauts onto a ground-level gondola, which is attached to that giant arm by 2 cables at its front and back. The arm then gradually winds them up before spinning them around 200 feet in the air.
So what's the
As
malfunction?
they're in flight, the gondola rapidly spins on its own axis, turning passengers upside down and giving them a real taste of space travel. Whew, just watching that is making my head turn as much as my stomach. Although not as much as this clip from 2010 does. On that fateful day, 10 people had their lives hanging by a thread.
No, literally!
Literally, after one of the rocket's cables snapped mid-ride. It took rescue crews more than an hour to get all the riders down. But
wait, how did they do that though?
Thankfully, no one reported any injuries. An initial investigation revealed that
Y'all better sue the shit out of them, what?
the hot weather that day may have weakened the metal within the cables, causing them to break.
Memory loss kicking back in. Nigga, no, I don't have dementia.
But surely, being an outdoor space, these rides should have been designed to handle high temperatures in the first place.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. As y'all were making this, y'all were like, let's make these metal pipes big as hell. But when it comes to actually holding them, let's just make the tiniest wires. How does that make sense?
Despite that disturbing revelation, the ride was only shut down briefly for repairs before reopening later that year.
Hell no.
So remember, kids, in Russia, amusement park rides you.
Yo, that freaky ass narrator, what's up?
Not smiling now. When the world...
This opium ass roller coaster, damn bro, this shit look depressing. Isn't the whole point you trying to have fun? This shit just looks like a caution ass coaster. You don't even look like you're supposed to even get inside.
Record-breaking inverted roller coaster, the Smiler, was opened in Alton Towers in England. It really did have fans smiling in anticipation. With 14 inversions, it promised to flip riders upside down more than any other roller coaster on the planet. But all those smiles soon turned to screams after the shocking events of 2015.
What happened?
As a car full of riders looped around the track, they suddenly noticed an empty test car that was stuck in front of them.
Do you know how scared niggas had to be? Right from the takeoff, they were probably like, no! I hope they good, cause nah, bro.
They screamed desperately for help, but
Could y'all imagine the people that are like on the outside in the line? They're probably like, yo, they're having that much fun?
it was already too late. They collided with such force that the metal of their car buckled, pinning the front row passengers into their seats. Rescue teams rushed to the site and spent hours trying to remove them from the wreckage. All 16 riders suffered some degree of injury.
Damn.
But 2 girls in the front row were so badly pinned that they each horrifically lost a leg.
And let me get this straight, y'all still want to be on roller coasters? Huh? Can we not find a different way to have fun at this point?
The ride was closed, and an in-depth investigation was set in motion. It was revealed that a fault had been detected on the ride earlier that day.
I hope they got paid like a good couple M's, bro, because that leg never coming back.
So, in line with procedure, the operator sent out an empty test car. However, the test car got stuck on a loop because of some high winds and didn't clear the track. Without realizing what had happened, the operators overrode the safety warnings and released the next car full of passengers.
I feel like anybody should have caught that.
Sending it careening
It's literally
into the
a coaster.
test car. And at those speeds, it was like watching a 90 miles per hour car crash.
Damn.
This operational oversight was so serious that Alton Towers' parent company, Merlin Group, shut down 3 other rides it owned that operated similarly. Eventually, inadequate training and human error were blamed for the accident, and Merlin Group was forced to cough up millions of pounds in compensation. But just 9 months later, the Smiler was unbelievably back in action. It just didn't seem like a long enough time to have fixed all those issues, and Merlin Group was accused of putting profits before people. Nevertheless, the ride has operated without any further incidents since, although I reckon they should have changed its name. Instead of the Smiler, how about the Crasher?
Or maybe just don't do it. Yo, if I hear even one person gets injured in a roller coaster, I'm not gonna test that roller coaster ever out.
Maybe the Smasher? Or perhaps just
freaky ass title.
The Death Trap. Got any better names? Let me know down in the comments below.
Alright, next one.
Class Action Park. Back in the 70s and 80s, health and safety was a lot more of a suggestion than it was a rule, as proven by the existence of Action Park. Often hilariously called Class Action Park for the number of injury lawsuits filed against it.
So y'all named the shit after y'all literally doing terrible, and people still want to ride it. At this point, y'all gotta ride my dick. I know that had no correlation, and I apologize.
It was widely considered to be the most dangerous amusement park in the world. It opened in New Jersey back in 1978, and the rides they boasted were all utterly insane. Walking into the park, you first saw the mind-blowing Cannonball Loop. It was an enclosed tube slide, which riders slid down in pitch black that flung them through a loop-de-loop before plunging them into the...
Alright, what if you're heavy? I'm sorry, you gonna go like this? You better pray to God nobody's coming after. What are you gonna do if you're stuck? It's pitch black and you have to climb your way up. Oh, bro, I already know there's hella injuries in here.
But the slide wasn't properly padded, and so being whipped through this hard plastic shell at breakneck speed left many of its testers missing teeth. Next to that was the Colorado River Ride, a truly demented version of a classic lazy river ride.
Y'all about to get me the nicest dentures ever, nigga.
Riders were given rubber rafts and mercilessly hurled against the ride's sides, bashing their knees, feet, and hands as they were flushed down. And then there was Surf Hill. A large slide split into several lanes that, thanks to some...
The amount of collisions that happen in these are way too crazy. I've seen hella videos on this, and if it's someone big, bro, I'm sorry, we fighting.
Seriously shonky engineering saw riders catapulted into the air at the slightest bump. Ooh, ouch. My shins are bruised just watching this. As you can probably tell, the rides were so dangerous that no self-respecting insurance company would insure the park.
Literally.
So, Action Park CEO Eugene Mulvihill set up his own insurance company and illegally insured it himself. And that, kids,
with what money?
is what we call fraud. Even so, the death-defying Cannonball Loop was open for a whole month before it was shut down after riders complained of broken noses and back injuries. But that was just the tip of the...
Why do y'all need people, like, reporting this to the law for y'all doing something? I'm sorry, if I hear one person, even on the news, even as a rumor, we're good.
Injury iceberg. Action Park dubiously reported just 14 broken bones and 26 head injuries in its 18-year tenure, although the real total is believed to be much higher. But that's not the worst part, because the park also claimed the lives of not one, not two, but 6 people.
It took y'all 6 deaths for y'all to realize this park is not right. No, I'm sorry. Anyone that went here, I think maybe the head bumps got to y'all. Are we that bored now? We're going on theme parks that can actually end you.
Before it was shut down in 1996. Oh boy, sounds like this place wasn't a water park as much as it was a watery grave. The human trebuchet.
Okay, now we apparently have freaking torture methods as roller coasters. What in this screams fun?
A trebuchet is a kind of medieval catapult that was designed to hurl huge objects with a sling through the force of a counterweight.
Oh, what's going on this? This can't be no Six Flags ride, nigga. It's a Middle East ass ride. I'm sorry, gang. There's no way people are actually getting on this.
These were great for sieges, as their projectiles landed on or over city walls in...
This is the type of shit you see on Avatar: The Last Airbender when the Fire Nation was attacking, nigga. How is this fun?
Unpredictable patterns. So...
This David Dobrik ass punishment, bruh.
Knowing all that, no one would be dumb enough to consider strapping a human into one of these, right? Wrong. Back in the 1990s, the Dangerous Sports Club in England built an enormous trebuchet on a Somerset estate.
You know, if there's one people that was gonna do it, it's definitely UK.
With the sole purpose of launching people onto a distantly placed net. For just 40 pounds, which would be roughly $140 today, almost anyone could sign up to be haphazardly hurled 100 feet over the English countryside.
Damn.
And this was about as safe as it sounded. One woman who tested it out, called Stella Young, did manage to hit the net, but then promptly bounced out of it, breaking her...
Nah, bro, that's unfortunate, bro. Bro, what?
Her neck and her pelvis. But instead of shutting this death trap down, they simply added a bigger net and tucked people into a ball so they didn't flail and bounce out as they landed. Now, like I said before, trebuchets are not precision instruments, and this will become all too clear.
Like, what if you're like skinnier or heavier? The chances of you actually landing there don't make sense.
Here in 2002. A poor student called Kostadin Yankov, who tried out this terrible trebuchet, was flung so far off target that he missed the net completely. And sadly, he didn't survive.
Bro, there's no way you thought a catapult would be a theme park ride, bro. What is you doing, bro?
It was an accident just waiting to happen, and one which finally shut this idiotic ride down for good. Fatal Fujin Raijin II.
No, this sounds like a torture device for war criminals.
Expoland had been a popular theme park in Japan since it opened in 1972. And the amazing Fujin Raijin II was one of the most famous attractions. Built in 1992, this steel coaster strapped its riders in standing up, all before whipping them over more than a half a mile of track at around 70 miles per hour. It was a huge success, and operated without a single issue for 15 years. But in 2007, as the train was about to enter a circular section of the ride, the wheel axle of the second car suddenly broke, causing it to tip sideways. It traveled almost 1,000 feet before the broken section hit a guardrail, slamming the train to a halt. The event cost the life of a young woman, and 19 others were injured.
Okay, I thought I said 19 other people passed away. Damn, bro!
After a thorough investigation, it was revealed that the car's axles hadn't been replaced in a shocking 15 years.
I think the thing with roller coasters is not if it's gonna happen, it's just when. Because there's no way you could assume that everyone is forever gonna check every small thing about a roller coaster.
But the axles weren't even part of the daily or monthly routine inspections. But this unbelievable oversight ended up costing more than just one human life. The entire park closed while the investigation took place, and the ride was pulled down. Though when it eventually reopened in 2015, nobody came back.
And that's how y'all gotta treat these theme parks. That other water slide that took 6 lives, why did y'all wait for 6 lives to be taken? Anyways, YouTube, those are the most insane theme park rides. Let me know which one you thought was the worst. Join us on Discord, chat us on Twitch, make sure to subscribe. RIP all the lives lost to the theme parks. Let me know, would you want to go to a theme park? Black Shirt for life. Love y'all.